channel. So today I'm going to be ranking all of my foundations. How exciting. Yes, if you like foundations, this is the video for you. If you do not, then I'm very sorry, then this is not the video for you. At the moment, I'm going through all of my makeup and I'm separating them into categories, and I'm doing a bit of a ranking series on my channel over the next few weeks. So yeah, today we are doing foundations. We're gonna go from worst to best, in my opinion, and my opinion does change over time. So some of these have kind of shifted around a little bit just based on how I feel today, really. I think also it's a little bit hard for me to rank these because some of them are a little too pale. Some of them I feel like I really enjoy them, and then at the end of the day I'm like, actually no, I don't really like that. So I do have a little bit of foundation blindness when it comes to what I have in my collection, because for the most part I think I like them all, and then there are times when I just don't like them. So you know, it is what it is. All right, I think the first one that I really genuinely don't like, and it is the Revolution in Real Life Filter Longwear Foundation. This is a matte foundation. It's also very thick, and I generally just don't like matte foundations. I already have combination to oily skin, but I do also have dry skin in the winter, so I thought, you know, it might be good to have a matte foundation for those times when I just feel a little bit too oily. But I kind of just enjoy the dewy look a little bit more than anything else. And I do think this is just really, really drying on my skin. Even when I don't have super dry skin, I don't generally enjoy it. I don't like the consistency of it. And it is very, very thick. It is a little too thick for my liking. I don't know if I have it in me to finish this whole thing. I might just end up decluttering it completely. So we'll see. At the end of this series, I do want to do a massive declutter. I don't know how massive it's going to be, but I'm going to be doing a whole collection declutter as well as eyeshadow palette declutter as well, which I will have a video on my eyeshadow palettes and ranking them. So stay tuned, that will be coming. But yeah, that one, I'm putting it there. I think it's the worst. Okay, and then this one I feel like is kind of similar. So I'm going to put the NYX Blur foundation here. This is the Bear With Me Blur. This is I wouldn't say a new item for me, but I don't have a huge opinion about it. I do have it in my Shop My Stash right now, and I have not enjoyed it. I have not enjoyed it so far, and I've actually been mixing it with a different foundation, which I'm going to be talking about that's coming up, because I find this a little thick as well. Like, it's kind of the same consistency. Also, I think the color is just a little bit off for me. I think it's a much better shade for me in the summertime, and maybe in the summer I'll like something that is a little bit thicker and, you know, just kind of covers me a little bit more. Generally, that's not what happens, but who knows? I think I'm going to pull this out in the summer because it has a little bit of a tinge of kind of beigey orange that doesn't really work for me right now. So I have to mix it with something else, and I'm not really enjoying it. So that's why I'm putting it here. Next up, we have the Misha Magic Cushion Foundation. This is the only cushion foundation that I've ever tried and that I own, and I think it's fine. I think I'm ranking it really low because I just don't think I like cushion foundations. So mine is pretty, I find them really, really messy. I don't know. I have used the sponge a bunch of times. Yeah, I just don't think this is an item for me. I think the idea of them is really cool, and also they're refillable, so you can just buy the refills, and you know, that's really cool in a sense, but I don't think that I enjoy the pleasure of putting it on my skin. I think once it is on my skin, it's fine. But it's something that I tend to forget that's in my collection. So I'm probably ranking it a little bit lower than it deserves because it doesn't look bad on the skin for my taste. Some people have said that it's pretty drying, but I don't think it looks very dry on the skin. I just don't think it's for me. All right, next up we have the Glamshop foundation. This is the Face Beautifier. It's a light coverage foundation. It is ultra light. If you don't want to look like you're wearing foundation, get this. This I did not like when I first tried it. I thought, you know, oh my gosh, my skin looks so bare. You know, where's the filter? Because it really does kind of blend into the skin. It adds a little bit, but it's ultra, ultra lightweight. It's the lightweight foundation that I have in my collection, but I have been mixing it actually this month with this one. I've also been mixing it with another foundation, my other NYX one, another Bear With Me one, and these are a little bit thicker in consistency, and this is very runny and very, very like water-based, I would say. So mixing them together has really helped make those ones that are a little bit thicker less thick on the skin, and also has added a little bit more coverage to something that is overall very, very weak in coverage. I think though this is actually a really nice item. It's just not something that I didn't realize it was going to be so lightweight, because I've had lightweight coverage foundation before. I generally enjoy it, but never something like this. So if you're looking for something like this, I would highly recommend. It's super serum-y, super liquidy. Obviously it comes in a pipette bottle, so it makes sense. But yeah, I think it's nice. I just wasn't expecting it, but I'm still ranking it relatively low because it's not my preference. All right, I feel like everything in the middle was really hard for me to judge. So I've just tried to go for what I remember, and I don't know if I've done the right thing. Okay, next up we have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is the dewy kind. You can also get like a normal matte kind. Obviously I have the dewy kind because I prefer that, and I've used a lot of this. You know, this is getting down there, so I could potentially definitely finish this year. I have the shade Nude Ivory. I think it's a little pale for me. So this is when I say I have foundation blindness. I tend to make my face, I'm already pale, right? And so I tend to make myself paler when I put the foundation on, and then I have to bronze it up really heavily, which is really stupid when I use products like this because it's just the wrong shade for me. But the reason I always go for ivory is because I have to stay clear. When it says beige, I have to stay clear of it because I know there's going to be a tinge of warmth in there. And I don't have warm undertones. From my understanding, I don't really know. So I have a hard time ranking this one because I really love the consistency. It's serum-y, it's kind of liquidy. It has actually a decent coverage, but it's very pale. And I feel like I do kind of look silly when I use it. And I kind of can only use it in the wintertime. And even then, I think it's a little too pale for me at the moment. Then I realized that I'm not actually a ghost. Like I am pale, but I'm not literally a ghost. And this makes me look like a ghost. So if I ever bought this again, which potentially I could, although I don't even think that they have this version anymore, then I would just try to get something a little bit more my skin tone because I do really love the consistency of this one. Okay, then we have the Revolution Skin Silk Luminous Serum Foundation. I really enjoy this one. All of these like in the middle are kind of similar to each other. This one I think is definitely a little too pale for me. I have F2. I've always gone with F2 with Revolution, but I think potentially it's always been a little too pale. So if I buy something else from Makeup Revolution, I'll probably need to step it up a little bit or just like half a step so it's not as ghostly pale, because when I do put this on, it's very similar to the Wet n Wild. I really love the consistency. I like how it looks, other than the fact that it like washes me out completely, which is obviously not always what you're going for. Honestly, it was hard to rank these two because I couldn't really remember which one I preferred. I might actually prefer the Wet n Wild over this one, but I put this one here. They're kind of, you know, interchange between themselves. Okay, the next one is something that I'm basically gonna be finished and done with. I did speak about this at my Project Pan. This is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Veil Foundation. I really enjoy this, but it's at the end of its life and I'm not gonna buy it again. I think I've realized that it's not exactly what I want in a foundation. I've always enjoyed it, but it does tend to have a little bit of a thicker consistency. It doesn't have that serum-y consistency that I like, so it goes on a little bit more like a paste, like an actual like thicker foundation, kind of similar to this one, but the color is much better in this one. So this one is just the wrong color for me. If I had a color between these two, it'd be fine, because this is a little too cool tone for me. I have to be honest. This is Vanilla Nude, and I thought, it's nude, it's vanilla, it's gonna work best. But some of these are ranked because I don't have the right shade. I do like this. I've always liked this, and it's gonna be done, so I'm gonna be sad to say goodbye. But I've also like kind of kept it in the middle because it's not my favorite. I realized. All right, then we have the Maybelline Superstay. I love this, and I need to get one that's actually in my skin tone. This one is great for the summer. I have the shade 21, and I have seen online like multiple times I could get a shade lighter. I just don't want to get something that's too pale. So I'm trying to figure out which one. I need like between 5 and 21, somewhere between them. That's where I'm gonna be. So this is beautiful on the skin. Like, I was shocked when I bought this. I thought it's just gonna be like a silly little BB cream. That's kind of what I consider this to be, but it is a skin tint, but it is just really beautiful. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and for the summer, it's great because it's not like high full coverage, but it also isn't like super light coverage. It actually looks like it goes on like a proper medium cover foundation, which is generally what I enjoy. It's just obviously the wrong color for me right now. So, you know, I'll see her in a few months for sure. I think if I had the right shade, I would probably rank it way higher, but you know, it's still pretty high up there. Okay, next we have the Purito CC Clearing BB Cream. This one I have Neutral Ivory. I think it's a great shade for me and doesn't leave me super pale. It probably leaves me a little paler than I should be, but it's not as bad as some of these other ones that I've spoken about. So I really like it. I like the consistency too. It's not super serumy, but it's not super thick. It's beautiful and the coverage is good. Yeah, I really enjoy this. And Purito is normally obviously skincare, but this is the first makeup item that I've tried from them and I really love it. All right, only 3 left. Okay, this is one where I know I have the wrong shade. So this is the Catrice Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation. It's got hyaluronic acid and vitamin E. This is beautiful. Another serum-based kind of foundation where it has a little pipette bottle. I don't really like pipette bottles, I'm not gonna lie. Let me shake it up a little bit because it does tend to separate somewhat. This one though, I'm pretty much halfway. I've just shook it so you can't see, but trust me, I've used about half of it and you can see it is very pale on me. But I do have some bronzer on, so to be fair, like if we do it to my neck, it's not too bad, but it is one of the ones where it is just a little too light for me. And so if I bought it again, I've got the shade 10 Nude or 10 Neutral. I just need to step it up. I also always want to go neutral, but I need to probably step it up just a little bit so it's not as ghostly pale. That's the only like criticism I have because this was my favorite foundation, but then I've realized I really enjoy these other two. So let's get into them. Okay, so this next one was a shock to me. I used it a couple months ago and I suddenly realized I really enjoy it. And I think it's also because it doesn't leave me ghostly pale because I have the right shade. So I have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation here. And I remember when I bought it, I never had a strong opinion about it. I didn't dislike it at all, but I also never thought, well, this is amazing. I still don't think it's amazing. I don't think foundation's ever going to be amazing for me, because it's just not that type of product that like amazes me, but I really like it. I like the way my skin looks with this. This one, I have the shade Mont Blanc, and I think it's a good shade for me. I think it's neutral, and it's just like a decent starting shade, and then I don't have to, you know, it's still a lighter shade, but I don't know, because it's pretty neutral, and if you compare it to the Catrice, you can see the difference. Quite a difference there. So yeah, this one definitely is a little bit more me, and I really enjoyed it actually. And I just realized this a couple months ago. I was like, actually, I kind of like that NARS foundation. So it's a shame because this is very expensive. Like compared to everything that I just showed you, this is the most expensive. Actually, this is the most expensive foundation that I have in my collection because I don't have my Charlotte Tilbury anymore. So yeah, this is it's up there, but I actually like it. Okay, and then my favorite is actually one of my least expensive foundations, so that's good, And this also is a recent one where I've realized that I love this foundation, and it is the Essence Skin Tint Hydrating Natural Finish Light to Medium Coverage. This is beautiful. It's got everything I need, so it's light to medium, which is perfect for me. It's my skin tone. I don't know, maybe on certain days it might look a little paler. Definitely in the spring, summer, it's not gonna work for me, but it's beautiful right now. I have the shade 30, and this is also hydrating. It's a natural finish. It's kind of serum-y. It's a skin tint. It's got all the buzzwords that I need. So I bought it on a whim. I haven't had that much success with Essence products, even though it's so affordable. A lot of the time, like I bought a highlighter the other day. No, I bought a highlighter a couple of years ago. I had to declutter it after a few months because it was absolutely atrocious. So, you know, they do definitely have hits and misses. Their mascaras are great, but not everything is great about them. So I wasn't sure about this, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. I really enjoy this product. So definitely my favorite at this point. And that's it. Those are all of my foundations ranked from least favorite to favorite. And obviously my least favorite are potentially on the chopping block for when I do my declutter. That's kind of how I'm doing these videos, helping me figure out what I like in my collection. A lot of the videos I'm like, I like everything, which to be fair, I can make anything work. Like anything I've spoken to you about today, I can make it work for myself, but do I want to invest the time to finish this item over the course of the next few months, year? That's kind of where I'm gonna come to when I do my declutter. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you next time. Bye.